Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild lands of Scotland. But today we've come to the little village of Glamis in Angus, Scotland here. And this is an incredible little Scottish village with a lot of history. And it's got also the famous Glamis Castle, Strathmore estate in this area as well, which was actually the birthplace to the late Queen Mother, the late Queen's late mother. And look at this folks, there's actually a little house here with a thatched roof, which we rarely see in Scotland. Mind we were in the Highlands, we saw that.
Yeah.
And just look at the little houses and stuff in this town. That's why I thought we'll do the intro here in this little village square.
1765, is it?
Aye, 1765 scored in above that window. That shows the age of these houses. And just imagine the goings on that might have occurred in this square over the years. And look at this monument here, there's a statue. It's actually got a lion on the top. And it looks like it's got a coat of arms with a Scotland flag on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's head on with this adventure and see what we see. This is the Glamis corner shop here folks. Every little town in Scotland's normally got it. It's the post office. And if you're ever in the area you should nip in there. Look, they do coffee. Other interesting little nibbles. Check this out folks, look at these little streets here. They're little narrow, beautiful little, almost postcard looking streets. Oh aye, that's maybe been a bracket for like an old sign or an old, what, lamp or something outside the shop. The Glamis Gallery. Here, I remember when this, I'm sure this used to be the Angus Folk Museum here.
Yeah.
And it used to be full of loads of countryside related items. Here, look at this. Is it an old cheese press? Check that out folks, a bit of historical, whatever that would be called. A mechanism of history right there. I think at one time it would have had a handle at the top that you screw and it lifts the weight up and down. Most farms though had a cheese press back in the day. And just check this out here too, is this...
The old well.
Aye, this is the old water pump. Look at this is what folk had to do often to get their water. They wouldn't have had a tap in the house back in those days. Literally, they would have come here to fill their pail of water and then they would carry maybe like the bucket back to the house.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see how it works. It's just the lever with the plunger right there. And those lids will be for servicing it. Maybe at one time the boy would have to come and lubricate it and keep it all working. That's crazy though, we literally have seen so much already and we've just walked round one corner.
It's like a big grinding wheel.
Yeah, that's a proper big mill wheel. There was likely a mill here at Glamis. It's quite good to see it because often they're broken.
Yeah.
And then look also at this old grinding wheel here for like sharpening things. An old sharpening stone. Here it's been powered from something because look, it's got a cam.
Yeah.
Which shows this one likely had a motor on it or it's been taken out of somewhere and put here.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Man, how detailed it is, eh?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that would be the original grinding stone for there. It may be, it could be. Like, see, an interesting thing with these houses, they've got the boards of wood so when the snow's on the roof it doesn't come flaming in and hit you in the head. And another interesting thing, these buildings have all got the stone slabs on the roof, which a lot of the old buildings had in Scotland back in the day. Also the windows used to be quite small as well. That kept the heat in. Look at this, here's the Glamis gin bothy at this side here folks. They make their own gin basically, yeah, with ingredients and stuff from the Scottish landscape here. If anybody's in Glamis they should definitely nip in there. Grab themselves a little bottle of gin. Oh look, here's another one of these pumps. Check this out folks, more history right here. Another one of these old water pumps, look. It's probably the most...
Had the rampant lion.
Oh look, this would have been the trough for feeding the animals. And the farmer would have come and pumped that to fill it up.
With the old overflow into the drain.
Oh aye. See look, that's the kind of interesting history that we love to find. That would have been the farm there. And you can imagine the cows maybe there and the farmer coming to pump that to give them a drink. Crazy scenes, folks.
Wow.
Interesting history once again. These roads are all like single lanes. It's just magical walking around here, all the different little things we've seen. It's like going back in time when you see a town like that. See this, there's actually an interesting Pictish stone in the garden of this house. But the people that live there are very like private and they don't like folk coming in. I remember years ago, I'm sure on a school trip once, we went and had a look at the stone and got told about the history. But nowadays there's just no way in. But there is an incredibly detailed Pictish stone stands within the grounds of that house. I think, is that maybe the old vicar's house in there originally? Because this is actually the Glamis church here in front of us.
There's the stone there.
Aye, the stone's there, folks. I don't know if you can see it. Over the hedge. Look, the clock's at the wrong time, isn't it? Oh no, look. It's only this. It's at a different time on the right hand side, eh?
Oh yeah, it's 5 to 9 on one side. And
Yeah, the clocks is at different times here, folks. It's 5 to 2 at this side, and at the other side it's
10 to 9.
10 to 9. So somebody's needing to get up. We'll have to get AKR, channel historian, and knower of all facts up there
Even
to fix the clock.
On the roof.
Yeah,
And
the
the
house.
urns and everything. Eh?
Yeah, urns on the side of the roof, folks. All stone from stone carving. And then the graveyard's kind of in that area. I think the area we need to go, there's a path takes you down to the riverside, eh?
Go down to the gate or something.
Yeah, there's a gate somewhere around here, folks, that we're looking for. Check it out, folks. We're actually looking for the path that takes us down. We've come through the edge of this graveyard and I can hear the river. See, the path takes us to the river. Apparently there's some interesting old like historical items and stuff hidden within the forests around the Glamis area here, so that's what we're going to look for today. Similar to what we saw in the videos earlier in the week, we're basically exploring a Scottish estate and the wild lands of Scotland here to bring history to the channel that we've never seen before. And like, yeah, it's just magic when you see stuff like this. Look at the old church. These old gravestones, 1878. It's sad, some of the stones here have like fallen over face first, so we can no longer see the interesting details of the history. Look how old like this stone here is. Look at that, carving onto it there. Here we go, we found the path. Is this? I think we've got stairs leading down here. Check this out, folks. Hidden within this wild overgrowth of bushes and shrubs, we've got these ancient gate posts, and you can still see the stone carving marks on them. And then there's another one there, so you can tell there's been some sort of fancy fence. And look how those gravestones are kind of built as part of the wall.
Yeah.
And then all these old dike lines shaped and built in ancient time. Wow. So interesting to see, like, there's something going on there. Like, is that a waterworks or something? We're going to hit a peek through the fence here, folks. This is what we love, just going. Often there's not even any paths and stuff the places we go. We discover little corners of Scotland that's no seen. This must be the Glamis waterworks. See how that goes down through?
You get it from the mill, eh?
I'm sure that's carbon that they put in there, and as the water trickles down through the carbon, it's purified.
Aye.
And then they pump it out at the bottom, and I think it can go around and cycle many times through to get filtered. Look at this. Oh look, here we go, folks. This is crazy. The shadows is at a poor angle here because of the winter sun, but just check this out. There's been an old fireplace here.
There has been something here.
Wow, look at the old lintel, the way it's shaped. And that's like crazy. I always say I follow my instinct for finding the history, and like I just wanted to come and peek around the corner and then boom, we'll find this, an old fireplace, and like you can tell how long it's been abandoned from the size of the trees growing out the top of it. The way the ivy's draping over it, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like there's been a roof line.
Oh aye, look, you can see that, the old roof line here. Yeah, it's just stunning.
Wow.
History hidden everywhere in Scotland, folks. In this sort of corner, it's like hardly seen because the path doesn't even come this road.
No.
Look, there's the back of it. You can't even really tell when you see that. Like, look, there's two little dots cut out of that stone as well. Anyway, folks, on with this adventure. Look at this, folks, an interesting detail of the architecture of the graveyard wall here. Look, you can see how they've built the foundation onto the top of the bedrock seam right there. And that gives you an idea, that church and stuff's probably all built onto that same bedrock seam, which is sandstone. Such a common thing in the land around here. Yeah, that almost looks like there's like a walled kind of garden area there. Check this out, folks, we're just following the perimeter of this. It's kind of like the graveyard. The edge of the graveyard, I think, as well. We're just following the perimeter of this wall right round, but the detail is just incredible with the carving of the stones and the casting of the metal gates. And even at the top, it's got that mega detailed carving. This is insane, folks. The amount of wee trinkets often you can find, little artefacts of the land. Check this out, folks. St Fergus Well. And the sign, the arrow on the sign is pointing to here. It looks like we've got an interesting historical little nugget right here. And just check it out, it's actually been built with the stones underneath this bedrock seam right here. Oh, check it out. This must be like a lucky well. You can see people's been throwing in some coinage. St Fergus Well, so maybe this is where he came down for a drink. Look, there's a chain where there's been like a cup or a ladle there on it for the people to have a drink. Oh look! St Fergus Church. Naich. St Fergus Church, that must be there.
He's buried here, eh?
Oh!
Or he's believed to be buried.
The kirk was officially dedicated to St Fergus in 1242. St Fergus conducted much of his ministry at Glamis, and earlier Christians were baptised at the well. So that shows there was baptisms going on in this well here, folks. He went to Rome as Bishop of Picts in 721. Think how long ago that was. He died at Glamis and is thought to be buried here. I don't know if they mean right here though, or just at Glamis in general. The well was gathering place, a church without wall. St Fergus probably lived in the cave when at Glamis. He probably lived in the cave when at Glamis, folks. Check that out. So that's interesting.
Oh, here we go. The cave was originally much deeper.
Oh, right, yeah.
What was filled in some years ago.
Lead mining. So look at this, folks, right? This was much deeper, right? And then when lead mining was instigated locally here, this was actually backfilled, basically, or filled in. So that's what this will be. See how the stones is built here? Yeah. It comes up and round and you can see it. And then look to here. Yeah. So that shows this area here is actually an entrance. Wow, that is interesting. The things we find out, just think, back in the old days, like, they were walking over here with their sandals on or whatever. It's just crazy history. And what was that date again? Like 721?
Yeah. That's when he was in Rome. 721.
Like, yeah, look at the shape. That's actually like some old millstone, potentially. Yeah, folks, there's just details of history all over Glamis. It's just history of biblical proportions. And ancient Scottish history almost like forgotten, and it's not unless you come off and down to these little remote areas that you find out interesting things like that and you see cool things. The noise of the little stream flowing past, it's just stunning. This is such an interesting little detail of history we've just realised here, folks. We're at the other side of that stream now from the well that we just looked at. And we were just thinking, this is like spoil heaps of stones and rubble. And then we realised it'll be from the lead mining that went on, like they were saying over there. And this will be the spoil heaps from said lead mining. And just look how deep it's cut in. You can see how this land looked, and all this here is piled up onto it. So many years have passed, it's almost hard to see stuff like that, but 100%. That's no like naturally occurring there, and it's been stacked up. Yeah, and that shows the old, like they must have been mining, trying to get the lead out. It makes you think too, if they were drinking out of that water, was there lead in it? Could be a high lead content in that fountain potentially, if it's right at the door of a lead mine. All this at the right hand side of the path, folks, is piled up, and I'm guessing it must have been lead mining in this area, and it's something that I didn't even know went on. It's crazy we keep uncovering layers to the history of Angus as we do these adventures, and the history of Scotland even. Check this out, folks. We've come further along the path and we've found this ancient stone, small obelisk, and it says on it the beauty of Strathmore. On the 18th of November 1893, a severe storm blew down more than 100,000 trees on the Strathmore estate. On this spot grew the finest, though not the largest, larch on the estate, and it was known as the beauty of Strathmore. It contained 187 cubic feet of timber, was 107 feet high.
Perfectly straight.
Yeah, it was 70 feet high to the first branch. More than 1 million trees were blown down in Forfarshire by this storm. And Forfarshire used to be the name of Angus back in the day, years ago.
I wonder.
So there we go.
I see a tree that hadn't been cut, had been like snapped.
I think that tree will have been taken a while though back in those days. Crazy though, it just shows you there's wee things like that just on the land to be found. It tells a story of the history of Strathmore here. It shows the pride they used to take in that tree, and they must have been so gutted when it got blown down, I can only imagine. But it just shows now and again in Scotland you get these extreme storms. We had one last year, or was it a couple of years ago, and again it does just decimate the land, like. But it's just a natural occurring thing with the weather. Check this out, folks. We've just found this idyllic little spot with a waterfall here. Places like this, it's like a little spot of paradise. I was thinking about walking at this tree, but it could be slippy. Feels pretty grippy. For the second video in a row, folks, I'm literally out over a river on a tree. Look at this. Here's an interesting thing, look. That wall's completely been built, which shows how they used to control the waterways and stuff back in the day. And the size of this tree growing out of here. Again, it shows how old that wall is, because these are some old slow growing trees right here. But yeah, I just thought I would show you, it's like a little paradise spot here with a waterfall. Anyway, we've just, I think there's a bit of history just on the horizon, folks, so stay tuned for that. I think we've spotted another bit of history. Look at this, folks, this is absolutely mad. We've just looked across the river and there's a cave entrance. It looks like it's built with stones at the front. It could be an ice house, there is an ice house somewhere here at the estate, but that's no the sort of spot you would have an ice house. That more looks like a secret little cave kind of area, so we're going to try and get across. Here, do you think there is a way of getting across at the waterfall? Oh yeah, we would have to get up that hill. This is mad, folks. That's how our adventures are, just spontaneous, and you never know what you're going to see. Like, this is so cool. Check this out, folks. We're actually at the other side of the river now. That's where we were a minute ago, and we're nearly at that, what looks like an entrance to an underground world. And we're actually just scouting the perimeter here of Glamis Castle's over there in the distance. And I think the main field which the Glamis extravaganza was in is actually around this area, up there. So I think, was the military vehicles and stuff no down here?
We're on that,
yeah. Look, there's a plane doing a flyover. Imagine the view of the castle fade up there. Check this out, folks. We're in this mad forest here. And this must be, there's like horse jumps and stuff. There's a hare. Horse jumps, they must take them out into the field for like equestrian events. And we're just going through this forest till we get to the cave entrance, which was spied from the other side of the river. Wow, what an area this is. Look, here it is. Wow, here we are, folks. This is just like hidden in the wild landscape of Scotland. Look, you can see it's built. It's not just a natural formation here. It was crazy, we were even able to like spot this from the distance. Wow! Here, this is incredible. This must be the ice house, because this is just the entrance.
Yeah.
Look, the main ice house is in there. Let's check this out, folks. I'll get the torch on. Wow, see, a lot of Scottish mansions and estates had an ice house. And like, this is just the entrance in. I believe this will be a big chamber in here. Obviously, to the landowner and estate's owners, we come with the greatest respects. We're just documenting history here. Wow! Oi! Look how big it is. It's so big I can't even see anything on the screen. Look down there.
Wow.
Oh, look at the size of the spider. I freaked out. There's a huge spider there. Oh, it's those cave spiders. Whoa, look at the spider eggs. Whoa! Oh my god, are they on me?
No.
Okay, folks. This is absolute crazy drama right here. Look at the size of those spiders up on top of there. Here, that's those thingy ones that the bite can really damage you like. Look at this. I'll close this. Leave the spider habitat. Wow. I'm shook after seeing those spiders, folks. They are the biggest, scariest looking beasts. Sometimes on YouTubers' videos, I'm always thinking like, why are they so scared of the spiders? But there you go. Check it out there, folks. It's built with the red stone. Look at the size of these slabs above our head. And that shows you, oh look, it's cracking.
Oh.
That shows us the ground settles. And places like this are starting to fall away. The whole thing's constructed, it's massive. And when I opened that door, it was like we were looking in outer space. It was just pure darkness in there. It's crazy how many underground places we've seen.
I know how deep it goes, eh?
Yeah, look at the wee door. It's like we're inside a little like hobbit house kind of thing. There's the detail you pointed out. There's been a door, and there's some remains still of like the wood where the hinges have been. Just think about this. Somebody would have come down from the castle, Glamis Castle, and collected the ice. Yeah, back in those days they had the ice for preserving foods, and the common man wouldn't have had ice back then. So it's crazy. Oh look! Look at the mark on the stone, but the spider egg sacs are crazy. Whoa, I saw a moth or something there. Look at the mark on the stone, it's like a square. And you can still see the chisel marks on there when they've carved it.
Yeah.
Hear that? Does it not sound like there's loads of water running?
River.
Oh right, yeah. But it sounds like it's coming from in there. See?
Yeah.
This is, the acoustics in here are mad, folks. The sound of the river must be like echoing round in here. Yeah, look, is that like old mason's marks? Maybe no, it could just be natural marks. Wow, I can't even believe that we found this. We managed to notice this from the other side of the river. I'll put the torch off now.
Wow.
That was just so special. Oh, the torch has come back on. Yeah, we found it. It's been so special, folks. Like, think of the stuff we found on this Glamis walk so far, just randomly. And the route we came, it was just, we were just going left and right on paths, not even knowing where we were going. But it's cool to come and video stuff like this, because you can see from the cracks in the wall and stuff, it's actually starting to fall away.
Look at that.
One day it'll fall right down into the river.
For repair, eh?
Yeah, they've actually spent time putting all those individual stones in. There's maybe been an even more ancient door in there. Yeah. Wow. What a special site. Special little building. Wow, let's have a look at it through here. I love the way the bushes and the ivy often drape over those things. I'll let you get a picture of this as well from this angle. So there you go, folks, one last look. I was just getting a couple of photos, that's how I went back in. So here we go, folks. We're getting a look from above the ice house now and see what's there. You can actually see it's quite high, and that's on purpose, eh? I'm not really wanting to walk on it 'cause it's an ancient structure and will always come with the greatest respect. But sometimes they had a little air vent. It's most likely covered now because the shape of it at the top, because it's a curve, the hot air rises to the highest point, and often they would have a little vent there. The hot air would escape. But when we opened that hatch, it was just pure darkness. It was just magical, like.
A massive hole.
Yeah. And then, like, those spiders must have just been right above my head. If they'd gone in my neck, see a bite from one of them, it's a proper sore experience. Like, there's a name for them, is it not? Southern widow. It's not a black widow.
Black,
No, but there's a name for it. Eh? It's a false widow.
Aye.
I'm sure they're called false widow spiders, and it's from the similar family to like the black widow.
They're no poisonous, but the bite's still.
Aye, it wouldn't kill you, but you would have a serious sore bite. But that's the sort of place you would find them. Anytime you're in a building like that. I've been in places before with them, but I've never been bitten. But I have heard about that from those spiders. Like, anyway, let's carry on this crazy adventure. See where we end up. So with the location of this ice house here, folks, we're just theorising as to the approach, because the castle's over there. They must have had a little track here that they came with a horse and cart to collect the ice, maybe on a daily or a weekly basis. It probably melted pretty quick though. I would think it was kind of a lot of days, but then maybe it was just when they got their fresh meat and stuff they needed it. But it's so interesting to see that and document more history hidden in the Angus landscape. And like a lot of places recently, we've seen so many little underground buildings, and the purpose of them was for the storage of ice and stuff, but it just varies. Like, every estate had that at a certain time.
Lime, ice.
Yeah.
Like
All that sort of stuff that they don't need anymore. Once fridges and freezers were invented, ice houses were just obsolete. But it's cool, we can still come and document stuff like that and see what's left on days like this. Anyway, folks, we're away to continue this mad adventure into this wild landscape here at Glamis. So if you want to see what happens next, tune into the next episode. I'm going to end this one here. Goodbye from me, goodbye from the channel DJ, and we'll catch you very soon for the next adventure.